Hey guys, what's up? Just finished another homemade, and I thought I'd make a video about it. I literally finished it, I don't know, 20 minutes ago, and I just had some time, so yeah, here it is. Before I go into it, I just noticed I got another subscriber, which is cool, so thanks, man. I watched some of your videos. I used to be really into Warhammer, and like I still am, kind of. I just don't have as much time as I used to anymore. But that's awesome that you play. I play Orcs and Blood Angels. But yeah, anyways. So here it is. It's a rainbow pump, as you can hopefully tell. And this is using the wood that I previously showed in that video on my, I think on my rainbow pistol, I showed you guys the wood. And it's been finished completely and stained and coated, and yeah, it's nice. So here's a big view of the gun, of the blaster. And then I'm going to get up close and go over the many features it has. So, starting in the back, it's got a regular T stock with the end cap, and I was going to use clear PVC, and then I realized that a T was like $26 US, and then the cap was like around the same price US, so that's like over $60 or $70 for me, and yeah, it's just a pain, and I couldn't find a clear bushing, so I thought, like, if I have a clear stock and not a clear bushing, it might look weird, but the white stock with the white bushing is fine with me, and, like, there's no way I'm going to spend that much money on plumbing parts. If I can find it locally for cheaper, which I highly doubt, but, like, I'm still going to try, great, I'll put a clear stock on it, but for now, oh well. On the top, I have a piece of, I think it's 1/4 inch polycarbonate that has been rounded to the blaster and like cut to fit over top, and this is just super glued on. I figured it's not a very high stress part, so it doesn't need to be mechanically fastened. And then the whole stock is fastened with black oxide flathead screws, and I know the stock doesn't need, you know, 4 on each, like 4 here and 4 here. I like these black oxide screws, so I just put 4, but realistically it only needs 2. And then the stock is attached to the blaster with 4 of the same black oxide set screws. I'm having a hard time articulating. Anyways, the priming mech is 2 layers of. Actually, I'll go over this material a little bit. Like when reading a bunch of people's stuff on Nerf Haven and listening to videos, people refer to their blaster's pump material as polyester. But the stuff that I ordered is actually PETG. And I know when everyone hears PETG, they automatically think that thin, weak barrel material stuff. But this is extremely thick, durable plastic, and it was easy to work with, but it's very durable. It takes threading very well, and it's just overall very strong. So it's 2 layers of PETG, and I don't know if that's just referred to as polyester, or the people saying polyester are actually just using a different material or not. But anyways, it's 2 layers, and I sanded this part to hide the glue, and then I got a big 1/4 20 round black oxide screw again, and then that just pulls back on this disc, polycarbonate disc. So it's a 3.0 style priming mechanism that I'm pretty sure Nerfomania came up with. This blaster, if you can't already tell, is very, very closely based off of Nerfomania's blaster that he made for Drac, because I really like that blaster. So this polycarbonate disc is attached to a Delrin rod, a circular rod, by a 1032 1.5 inch machine screw, so it is not coming off anytime soon. I've noticed I've kind of gotten this kind of bad habit of using 632 threads all the time, even for plunger heads, and I don't know, I noticed that like 632 screws, like I could bend them with my hands. So I'm really not going to use 632 for anything to do with the plunger head or like priming piece anymore. I just don't think it's strong enough. Maybe 832 would be fine, but I just overkilled it and used 1032. anyways, or no, it's not 1032. It's 10 something. Actually, it is 1032, but there is 1024 as well, but I didn't use that. Anyways, so the rainbow catch in there, hopefully you can tell that it is polished to a very high finish. There's a little bit of dust in the blaster just from me working on it, so it's a little dirty, but hopefully you can see that it polished quite a bit. And that's a 1/2 inch spring rest with aluminum spacers, 632 or no 832 black oxide screws with a 1/4 inch catch and 1/4 inch back plate. And then onto the plates here, they are rounded completely, all black oxide counter shrunk screws. And then this one there's a round screw, and on the other side holding it, it's just a lock nut. And then this wood is the same blood wood that I showed you before, just it has been sanded. I actually found some 1,000 grit sandpaper, so I sanded it the regular grits, and then I did 400, then 600, then 800, and then 1,000, and it was shiny without anything on it. But I just rubbed the tiniest bit of linseed oil on it because it crystallizes in the wood and helps with longevity, and then I coated it probably 20 times with really thin coats of shellac. Same thing with everything here too, and if you can't tell, that is just so shiny, which I'm extremely pleased with. And it has 2 holes up there for mechanically fastening everything. I may end up drilling through the pump slide a little bit here so more air gets in behind it, but I haven't noticed any issues so far with not having one. Trigger is got a return spring in it. Like, I think you should really do that. It doesn't take anything. It takes like no effort at all to do. It's very easy, and it just makes the blaster so much more professional. And it's just 2 set screws, one on the trigger, one into the spring rest, with a little spring from I think it's a trigger spring from like a Raider or something that I've cut the handle off. I always save springs, screws, and that's it really. Springs and screws, and that's it. Sometimes I save the barrel restrictor posts, the dart posts, because I use them for stir sticks, but not important. And I don't know if you can tell the spring, if it looks any different. I actually spent a good 20 minutes polishing the spring with some metal polish. I don't know if you can see that, but like normal K26 springs, they come like a really dark metal color, almost black, and this is like a nice silver now. So when I show you the compression, you'll probably see a little bit better. And check that out there. Hopefully you can see that that is a omni-directional catch that has been machined right into the Delrin rod. I did not use a threaded rod or bolt. That is, I'm going to get really close there. That is machined right into the rod. And a lot of people think you need a lathe to do this. You do not. I did that with a file. It was not very hard. You have to be careful. Definitely be careful. But you do not need a lathe. I did it with a file alone. And then I finished it up with some sandpaper. Going on to the plunger head. So it is 2 rounded over discs that hopefully you can tell again have been extremely polished. I polished them all the way to 1,000 grit, and I just lathed them on my drill. So yeah, I might get a lathe soon actually, because I found one on Kijiji for really cheap, like $100, and it's a nice lathe. So anyways, so yeah, rounded over disc, sandwiching a skirt seal, and the front one, the front little disc, see it fits inside the bushing kind of nicely. And I did the same thing that I do to all my bushings. I round them over, which I like a lot. I think looks good. The goal for me, one thing that I say to myself when I'm working on blasters that use PVC and PVC fittings, is I say to myself, how am I going to make this not look like a plumbing part? Because I don't want a blaster that looks like a bunch of plumbing parts. I can make blasters like that if I just want to make a blaster really quick, but you know, this is going to be my personal primary that I'm going to use all the time and have for a very long time, so I wanted to look really nice. So yeah, that's what I say to myself, just a little thing that I do. I try and make everything that's a plumbing part not look like a plumbing part. Like, hopefully that doesn't just look like a T anymore. It looks like a stock. That's what I think, but whatever. The front is just cut normally and sanded, and then you can see how I attached the pump. Hopefully you can see anyways. And that's just 3 number 8 sheet metal screws, flathead, and they're countersunk in there. You have to countersink them. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Little embarrassing, but I derped on the spring a little bit. I just noticed this kind of right now while I was filming this. So I had 3 K26 springs left. One of them I had in another blaster really briefly, and I had it in a plus bow. I had cut 2 coils off, and then I realized that I could just put a full K26 in, and it'd just be under a little bit of pre-compression, so I took that one out, and I put it back in my bag. I didn't label it or anything. And then when I went to go grab a spring to put in this, I grabbed the one that is missing 2 coils, so the spring kind of shakes in here, and it doesn't give compression all the way to the front. It stops giving compression like right there, or there, because of the 2 coils missing, so I'm going to have to change that, but I literally just noticed it right now while I'm talking to you guys, but that's not a big deal. Just take it apart, put a new one in. And yeah, I think that's everything about the blaster. I'm going to fire it a couple times on my couch. Not that you can probably notice too much, but you know, you'll hear how loud of a bang it makes. I made actually a hopper unit specifically for this blaster. The barrel is kind of interesting. I've done barrels like this before, but I've never done them out of clear materials. And I made another barrel, but I didn't bring it. Whatever. I couldn't find any clear couplers, and I couldn't find any clear Ys. But oh well. Maybe if I do, one day I'll buy them. I've seen clear Ys, so I know they're out there. And then I got some of the fantastic red foam darts that I got from Drev a while ago. Awesome foam. Finally got around to making a bunch. And I have a pretty decent sized bag of blanks left, and then 2, I think they're 2-meter long sections of the foam still, so I'll have that foam for a while. And the barrel here, this is just Schedule 80, clear Schedule 80 PVC, which I really like. It's a great fit on that foam. And then this section here is a piece of clear PVC, and then inside it's been drilled out, and then a 5/8 hole actually, and then inside is a piece of PETG that is the exact same dimensions as CPVC. Some people call it clear CPVC, and I've heard acrylic barrels and I've heard polyester barrels thrown around. Like, I've heard those words thrown around, and I don't know if they're referring to this material again, the clear CPVC, PETG, like same dimensions as CPVC kind of stuff. But yeah, anyways, this is PETG that is basically CPVC. It's the exact same dimensions, inner and outer dimensions. And that's just gooped inside of this half-inch piece of PVC, and then that's couplered onto some Schedule 80. And apparently this is very optimal. I've always had good luck with doing telescoping barrels or nested barrels, whatever you want to call it, transitional barrels, because it's very tight here, so you build up a lot of pressure, and then it's just exploded through the looser section, and this builds up quite a bit of velocity apparently, and is a lot more accurate. And I have noticed that they do shoot a tiny bit farther than just a straight tight barrel, but these are a little longer. Like, this is 14.5 inches, and if this was going to be straight CPVC or that clear CPVC PETG kind of stuff, I'd probably make it like 13 or 14 inches. But anyways, that's that, and I'm going to just shoot at my couch a little bit. So stopper fell off. So yeah, I guess that's pretty powerful. I got a pretty old, beat up piece of PVC in the back holding the Y on, so that I definitely need to change. I didn't feel like cutting a piece, to be honest. Hopefully that wasn't too loud for you guys. Any headphone wearers, probably sorry about that. But yeah, anyways, here it is one more time. And if you have any questions at all about anything to do with this blaster, I'm more than happy to answer them. Comments are welcome. And if you could leave me a like, that'd be great. Subscribe, that'd be cool too. And like always, guys, have a good day or night wherever you are, and I'll see you on the forums. Bye.